Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving straight into a brand new explainer, and we are unpacking a really fascinating equity research report on Vedanta Power, or VEDPOWER. We're going to look right under the hood of India's fifth largest private thermal power platform. It's this massive, newly listed entity that literally has the entire financial world buzzing, and we're going to break down exactly why.
So, here's the million-dollar question we're trying to answer today. Is India's newest power giant a hidden treasure, or is it just a massive value trap? Because on one hand, you have this incredible scale and some serious structural tailwinds in a booming Indian power sector. But on the other hand, we are looking at fatal operational disasters and a highly leveraged, crushing debt load. It's a high-stakes corporate drama, for sure, and we are going to unpack all the facts. Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, we'll look at the new power player. Then, we'll dive into their assets and revenue engines, check out the dark clouds, peek inside the financials, and finally, wrap up with valuation and the equity verdict.
Let's jump right into part one, the new power player. So picture this. On June 15, 2026, Vedanta Power officially began trading independently on both the National Stock Exchange and the Bombay Stock Exchange. But, it didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's actually a massive 4.2 gigawatt carve-out, born directly from its parent conglomerate, Vedanta Limited. And it was specifically designed to be a pure-play commercial power generation company.
But this wasn't an overnight success story. We're looking at a corporate evolution spanning almost 2 decades. It actually started way back in 2007 as a single special purpose vehicle in Punjab called TSPL, which Vedanta bought in 2008. Fast forward to the early 2020s, and they went on this aggressive buying spree, snapping up stressed assets like Sakti and Meenakshi through the insolvency resolution process. And all of that massive capacity building basically set the stage for the big 2026 demerger.
Now, you might be wondering, how did this demerger actually work? It's pretty straightforward, really. It was a one-to-one mirror holding structure. So for every single share of the parent company, Vedanta Limited, shareholders got exactly 1 share of this new entity, Vedanta Power. When that happened, the parent stock price technically took about a 65% haircut overnight. But don't panic, that value wasn't lost. It just seamlessly transferred right over to this new, separately listed company that we're analyzing today.
Okay, moving on to section 2, assets and revenue engines.
Let's look at the actual hardware generating the cash. VEDPOWER's 4.2 gigawatts of capacity is split across 4 critical assets. Take their flagship facility, Talwandi Sabo, down in Punjab. At nearly 2,000 megawatts, it uses advanced supercritical combustion technology, which basically means way higher efficiency and much lower fuel consumption. The other 3 plants, Sakti, Meenakshi, and Jharsuguda, are older subcritical units, but they provide the sheer massive scale needed to make Vedanta Power the 5th largest private thermal operator in all of India. And what's really fascinating here is the sheer operational simplicity of it all. Unlike its parent conglomerate, which is involved in everything from oil to aluminum, this newly listed stock is literally a 100% pure-play commercial utility. Every single rupee of revenue, it comes straight from power generation. It is a highly focused operational engine. So how are they actually selling all this power? Enter the Case-2 Long-Term Power Purchase Agreement, or PPA. This is absolutely crucial. Roughly 74% of Vedanta Power's active capacity is safely locked up under these long-term agreements with state utilities. As long as they keep their plant availability around 80%, they are completely guaranteed fixed capacity charges. And even better, the variable fuel costs are a total pass-through. That means they are perfectly insulated from those wild global coal price swings. It's basically their ultimate financial safety net.
But contrast that super safe 74% with what they're doing with the remaining 26% of their capacity. They are running an aggressive merchant strategy. Instead of locking this remaining chunk into those safe 25-year contracts, management is rolling short-term contracts. They are directly betting on India's projected multi-year power supply deficit. By keeping this capacity untied, they can absolutely capitalize on high spot prices when demand surges, locking in elevated tariffs of around 5.40 rupees per unit. It's a huge calculated risk, but man, the upside is substantial.
Right, time for section 3, the dark clouds. Okay, here's where we pull the rug out for a second. Because despite all that impressive scale we just talked about, this research report points out some glaring, severe, systemic red flags. These are the kinds of risks that make this stock a highly volatile proposition for anyone looking to invest. The most immediate and tragic dark cloud is the Sakti plant disaster. On April 14, 2026, there was a catastrophic boiler tube explosion at their newly acquired Sakti unit. It resulted in the heartbreaking loss of 25 workers. From an operational standpoint, it forced a complete immediate shutdown of that entire facility. And the crazy part? That unit is expected to be completely offline for reconstruction and safety clearances until the latter half of fiscal year 2027. That is a massive hit to their short-term power generation. And from an operational disaster, we pivot straight into a massive financial bombshell. To get it, we quickly need to define encumbrance. This happens when shares are officially pledged or locked up as collateral for debt. Think of it like taking out a massive mortgage and using your stock portfolio as the house. If the borrower defaults or if there's a margin call, the lender can actually force a liquidation of all those shares. So brace yourself for this number. 56.38% of the entire company's stock is currently encumbered. What makes this so shocking is that this represents exactly 100% of the promoter's holding. Every single share owned by the corporate parent is locked up as collateral for a massive $1.75 billion offshore parent debt. If the parent company faces any liquidity stress, the minority shareholders in Vedanta Power are looking at a severe overhang of forced liquidation. Let's get into the numbers. Section 4. Inside the financials. Taking a quick look at the key financial ratios for FY26, honestly, they scream structural stress. Look at the return on assets sitting at a stark negative 18.33%, and their reserves have literally plunged to negative 1,269 crores. For any financial analyst looking at this snapshot, these numbers instantly flash major warning signs. But why do those ratios look so terrifying? Well, the FY26 profit and loss statement tells the whole story. Despite actually generating a really healthy operating profit, or EBITDA, of over 1,000 crores on nearly 5,500 crores in revenue, the company reported a jaw-dropping net loss of over 1,700 crores. How does that happen? It was driven by massive one-time, non-cash, exceptional items of negative 2,322 crores. Mostly, this was just a massive write-off of disputed receivables after a Supreme Court ruling, combined with some legacy contractor settlement payout. So the real takeaway here is this crazy contrast. Their core operations are actually humming along perfectly, generating a positive free cash flow of 477 crores in FY26. But they are dragging this absolute monster of a debt load. Standalone borrowings sit at 6,542 crores, leaving them with a really high debt-to-equity ratio of 3.03x. Basically, they're going to need over 1,600 crores next year literally just for debt servicing, which is going to eat up almost all of their projected cash. Finally, Section 5, Valuation and Equity Verdict. Okay, here's where things get super interesting, because despite all those massive operational and debt risks we just covered, the shareholder breakup shows some serious institutional conviction. The heavy hitters aren't running away. The Life Insurance Corporation of India, along with various mutual funds, hold significant stakes here. In fact, daily delivery volumes near their post-listing lows basically tell us that long-term investors are quietly accumulating this stock, looking way past the short-term noise. And the reason those big institutions might be buying, it really comes down to a massive structural valuation mismatch. Right now, Vedanta Power trades at an enterprise value to EBITDA multiple of about 8x. But if you look at industry peers like Adani Power or Tata Power, they are trading at multiples greater than 12x. So the final verdict? If Vedanta Power can successfully navigate that Sakti shutdown, clear the messy parent debt overhang, and actually hit their ambitious 12 gigawatt expansion goals, well, this stock is sitting at an incredible long-term discount today. But look, as always, we have to stress the absolute necessity of doing your own due diligence. As the report clearly states, all of this information is strictly for educational purposes, not a direct buy or sell recommendation. The risks are very real, but obviously so are the rewards. So I really want to hear your take on this. Is this a high-yield treasure waiting to be unlocked, or is it just a leveraged trap? Let us know what you think down below and tell us which stock should we analyze next. Keep learning, and we'll see you in the next explainer.